WRX STI was not just a car, it was a statement. A four-door rally machine built in a world that no longer wants them to exist. And then suddenly, it was gone. No goodbye, no final version, no tribute, just silence. And today, you're going to find out why Subaru deleted one of the greatest performance cars ever made, and why it may never return. It's hard to imagine the car world without the Subaru WRX STI. Not just gone, but erased. For decades, it wasn't simply a machine. It was a promise that you could own a car born from dirt, gravel, and fire, and still drive it to work every Monday morning. A rally car with license plates, a war machine disguised as a family sedan, the kind of car that made you take the long way home, not because you had to, because you needed to. And then, in 2021, Subaru quietly pulled the plug. No retirement video, no special farewell edition for the world, no global goodbye, just a press release, a digital death certificate, and overnight, one of the greatest performance icons ever built became history. This is not just the story of a car. This is the story of a dynasty, of pride, of rivalry, of obsession. This is the Subaru WRX STI, the rival that died too soon. Before you ever saw an STI, you heard it. That uneven growl, that offbeat rhythm, not polished, not perfect, raw. The flat-4 engine didn't sing like Italian supercars. It didn't roar like American V8s. It throbbed like a mechanical heartbeat. That sound was rebellion. It was mechanical attitude. It was the noise of something that did not care about being elegant. The Boxer engine was the soul of the STI. Mounted low, compact, balanced. This design wasn't made to impress cafe crowds. It was built to survive war, snow, mud, rocks, rain, rally stages that broke suspension arms like twigs. Every piston fired sideways. Every explosion under the hood felt closer, more personal. When Subaru bolted a turbo onto it, the monster woke up. Boost wasn't power, it was addiction. As the Tach climbed, so did your pulse. And the world became smaller, sharper, louder. This car didn't float, it clawed. No legend exists without a villain, and for Subaru, that villain wore red. Mitsubishi's Lancer Evolution. In the early 1990s, the Evo arrived like a trained assassin, sharp, aggressive, precise, and Subaru had nothing. No champion, no icon, just a scrappy sedan with ambition. So, they did something dangerous. They went to war with engineers instead of weapons. Out of that war came two letters, STI, Subaru Technica International. Not a trim, not a badge, a mission. The STI was not built for comfort. It was built to dominate loose terrain at insane speeds. If the Evo cut with precision, the STI crushed with aggression. This wasn't just competition, it was religion. People did not choose Evo or STI. They believed in them. Forums became battlefields. Dyno charts were scripture. Drag races were duels. And rally was holy ground. Then came the drivers. Colin McRae, Richard Burns, Petter Solberg. Men who made physics look optional. Blue cars with gold wheels launched off cliffs and landed sideways at 100 miles an hour. And the world stared. Suddenly, Subaru was no longer the weird AWD company. Subaru was war. Most fans never knew the truth. Subaru had a shadow division, a place where sanity didn't represent budgets. And out of it came the S-Series, S202, S203, S204, S207, S208. These weren't upgraded STIs, they were enhanced organisms, hand-built engines, forged internals, special chassis bracing. Cars that weren't marketed, they were whispered about. Then came the myth, the S209. America finally got one. 400 cars, not 401, not 402, 400, forged pistons, upgraded turbo, aggressive aero. This was as close as Subaru ever came to selling you a rally car for the street. It looked angry, it sounded dangerous, it felt illegal, and just when it seemed like Subaru was ready to go even further, the lights went out. The STI did not die on track. It did not crash in a final race. It was executed by regulation. The world changed. Engines were no longer judged by power, but by numbers, emissions, fuel economy, compliance. Desire became irrelevant. Governments did not care about turbo spool. They cared about decimals. The Boxer engine was thirsty. The STI was inefficient. And worst of all, it refused to change its personality. The new FA24 engine arrived, cleaner, safer, smarter, but it did not feel, it behaved. Subaru looked at the future and saw timelines shrinking. A new STI would cost millions, and it would die again, quickly. So, instead of building a short-lived legend, they chose silence. When Subaru finally spoke, the words were cold. A new STI would have a very limited shelf life. No fire, no fight, just surrender. And in 2021, it was over. The engine was shut off, the garage lights went dark, and the STI walked into history alone. Then came the new WRX, new body, new engine, new identity, and something missing. No STI, not now, not later, not ever. The CVT arrived, the gear lever disappeared, and to many fans, it felt like treason. This wasn't evolution, this was replacement. The STI had once fought snowbanks and cliffs. Now, it was replaced by spreadsheets and silence. Here's the strange thing about death. It creates value. Cars that once depreciated began to rise. Final editions, S models, garage values doubled, tripled. The STI was no longer transport. It became an artifact. Some locked them away. Others drove them harder than ever. Because legends were never meant to be preserved. They were meant to be felt. And as fewer appeared on roads, their legend grew louder. Subaru says the STI is not dead. They say it's evolving. They showed the future. An electric race car, a performance SUV, numbers that sound impressive, horsepower measured in thousands. But something is missing. No rumble, no turbo songs, no mechanical heartbeat, no soul noise. Maybe it's progress, or maybe it's a costume. Because you cannot rewrite emotion, you cannot electrify memory, you cannot simulate a feeling, you can still see them. Because legends never actually disappear. They just stop being built. The STI wasn't perfect. It was loud, rough, hard, and unforgettable. It did not fade, it was cut off. And that is why we miss it. Because a story unfinished never grows old. Because a rival who dies young becomes immortal. So let the EVs come. Let the world change. One thing remains. When the boost hits, when the tires chirp, when the Boxer roars, the Subaru WRX STI is not gone. It's waiting. In our memory, on old rally footage, in late-night tunnel pulls, in every fan who still whispers, they don't build them like this anymore. The Subaru WRX STI, not just a car, a chapter that ended too soon, a rival that died before its time, and a legend that will never go quiet. Subaru didn't just kill a car, they killed an era. Would you rather own the last WRX STI ever made, or see Subaru bring it back as an electric S? TI, petrol for the legend, electric for the future.